I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. And we're your fuck buddies.
We are a sex and dating advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we find questions either online or from our wonderful listeners, and we answer them right here, right now, in your ears every Monday.
I feel like I'm in a cyberpunk game right now. Why is my camera...
What's that new red light you got going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same light I have every other recording, but right now I feel like I'm just hanging with my chooms.
Yeah.
Having some preem podcast time.
Mm-hmm.
That's
fighting really hard to remember.
Trying to think of a single other stupid thing that they say.
Fuck.
Ripper docs.
Get some Chrome, bro.
Chrome.
Did you get new Chrome? Is that why you're glowing?
It might be. I've added a unhealthy red tinge to my skin. That's the only cybernetic I can afford.
That's it.
Yeah, it's red jaundice is the Chrome that I was able to afford,
which is also your street name.
Hell yeah!
Are you ready?
My mind hacker name.
Are you ready to talk about the most exciting musical event/festival of the year?
Yes.
We are, of course, talking about Hetero Awesome Fest.
If it's not headlined by like Kid Rock or what's the other really piece of shit country singer, Morgan Wallen?
Hey, did you hear about this festival though?
No, because I'm
guess not where in the States it was.
This has got to be. I'm saying it like Florida is my first choice, but I would say like maybe Milwaukee or like Idaho.
It is Idaho.
Yeah.
Boise, Idaho.
Oh, of course it's Boise.
Like in a desperate attempt to claw, celebrations away from Pride. They were like, you know what? Fuck Pride Month. What could be the opposite of Pride Month? Hetero Awesome Fest.
Look, I will say, I will give them this. That's a kick-ass name. But like not seriously. Like if it was a like ironic gay event in which it's just like sort of like music you associate with hetero people like Linkin Park or you know what I mean like
Linkin Park.
I don't know. I think of like White Guy and like Linkin Park is one of them, right?
I think
like,
it's more like Creed, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like Linkin Park, they have their queer kind of like pillar behind them.
Yeah, I feel
maybe
like
not,
any emo probably has a little, but I like when I think of like if I see a bunch of like white guys hanging out in a parking lot, like that's kind of the like the Nickelback, the Creed, the Theory of a Dead Man, like the like shitty post grunge bands. That's kind of like where I sit.
See, this is the thing that I hate about the like Republicans in America is that they're so
the one
bad.
Thing. This is the only
everything
else
but
this one thing.
No, it's kind of the most No, it's not. Like, there's nothing I can say in jest, which is actually part of what I was saying, is that they're so bad at everything that they kill all attempts at any jokes. Because Hetero Awesome Fest is the best joke name for a dumb event that would be like in a comedy movie or something. But they just went ahead and did it in real life. And it's not like, now we can't make fun of that because that's the worst name imaginable, but also the best, but not for what they want, right?
It is like what you would imagine a South Park or a Bob's Burgers.
Yes,
or
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like a so
super
ridiculous...
Bad,
this sounds like it was ripped out of a South Park episode where...
For sure.
Cartman is upset that he makes us Hetero Awesome Fest.
Yeah, and it would be the dumbest fucking character who did it. Now, Dane, I have 2 examples of t-shirts from this event that were being sold.
Okay.
I know it's a little bold to be like, hey, can you think of it? Can you imagine what would go on these t-shirts?
I get like Adam and Eve vibes. Like it's
okay, just as Adam and Eve.
Just like it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, like that kind of thing. The other thing I can think of is like a really, really shitty version of the pride flag, but like what they think the straight flag would be,
Well, isn't
which
it
is just like
super straight, like black and orange or something?
yeah, just like two. Is that just the Pornhub flag that they're flying?
Maybe. Even Pornhub wouldn't be down with that. No. And again, this is like they kill all jokes because what they do is so stupid that it's like hard to mock. So the second best one I saw was Make America Straight Again, which is just like,
Yeah.
fuck off. But the best one, and like this is a real t-shirt people had, was I love my heterosexual husband.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to see someone in the wild wearing that. And I don't, because it would mean they're a piece of shit. But
I mean, here's the thing. I do want to get that for my partner, ironically, because
it's the funniest
twofold.
thing.
Because
it's the
like,
funniest fucking thing.
I do hope that she loves me. So it's not an incorrect statement, right?
Yeah.
But then it also does seem like I am not straight, right?
For sure.
It does sound like she is my beard, because only the most insecure man would require their partner to wear a t-shirt that says that.
It's got to be one of the least straight items of clothing out there. You know what I mean?
It's crazy because and this goes back to sort of like your point of the right being so bad at like comprehension.
Yeah.
Because like if a woman wearing a t-shirt that said "I love my husband," you would know that they are straight. Because
they could be bi, and that's the thing. Say one thing for the Republicans: they're not bi erasing. They're terrified that even if you're with a woman, someone might think. So they're like, we respect. We would never erase the bis. No bi erasure over here. We gotta make sure people know I am heterosexual.
This is a good point. Yeah.
It's so fucking cringeworthy. Now the best thing is, it was like a huge park that they like rented out and put fences and blah 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 blah. 30 to 50 people showed up. Right. And what's even better is I saw so many, because this all came to my attention because it was all over TikTok. Right. So many people were there who were queer, who were like, what the fuck is going on? Who showed up to like document it. So a large portion of that 30 to 50 were in fact queer people just
seeing what's up,
just mocking it, really.
Yeah.
And
do you have
two?
I was gonna say, do you have a sampling of the incredible, awesome bands that
I
were
could
playing?
try to find out. The only one
is this a musical event, or was it
was
just
a
sort of
musical
like
event, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was just sort of like a children's midway of hate and intolerance.
Basically, yeah. No, there was apparently with the bands there was a lot of chaos where there was no real like schedule. You kind of showed up and they were like, "Oh, you go on." But there was a key act by Daniel Hamrick, who is a queer artist who hoodwinked the organizers, went up and then put on an army jacket with like pride flags and like, you know, a lot of queer anthems like stuck to it, and a army cap, and then sang a bunch of pro like trans songs, which very much upset the 20 people that were there.
The 9 folks that were there.
Yeah. So they cut his mic and pulled the everything away from him and demanded that he get out, which I think, one, that's a ballsy ass move to go in there and do that. So everyone should follow this person because they rock, and also their music was good, and I think that's fucking hilarious. Now, the other, and this is going to be really shocking for you, the other thing of note that happened over this festival was a right-wing podcaster openly being hugely racist on his live podcast in the middle of the day overseeing this festival. He was one of the like commentators or whatever, just immediately whipping it out, just pure unbridled racism.
It's interesting because nowhere did it talk about, this was a hetero awesome fest. This wasn't a white hetero awesome fest. All right. So I think that
when the Republicans are involved, that's always just the silent.
I think it's very, very disrespectful to the people of color who wanted to have a straight awesome time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that's not a safe space for them.
You know, the way like sometimes people like reclaim like slurs or like words or terminology.
Yeah.
Can we reclaim hetero awesome fest?
In what way?
In the like non-shit way,
like,
right?
We are
like
awesome people who are hetero, and
it's such a great name in a different way that like, can we not just take that and make it actually awesome?
Yeah, what we need to do is like we need to take it and then make it a a straight ally of being like it's all like straight people and hetero people sort of like uplifting. So like we're the foundation, but like when people go, it's just like queer artists and queer musicians and whatever. It's like it's a space in which straight people and hetero people have made safe for queer people to like party and rock.
There we
and
go.
That inherently makes
an
us
awesome hetero festival.
Yes, that makes the heteros awesome.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that was very, very fucking funny. Oh, sorry. Where the only thing more powerful than the music is the strength of the traditional family was their tagline.
Cool.
And guess what? The traditional family wasn't very powerful. There were nobody there. So
I can't get over the fact that someone thought, hey, you know what would be a great idea? Would be to podcast during a live music event.
They weren't technically podcasting. They were like, I guess they had like a commentators,
like,
or they were like
the MC
emceeing or something, but they were like off to the side on like it looked like a news setup with like 4 people there with mics, and they were like talking to each other about it.
Now again,
but like this person was so startlingly racist that the other 3 Republicans all went, yikes.
That's always a good sign. It's always great when you're the one who pulls the rug out from under the other shitty people.
Yeah, you're so shit that the other people go, wait a minute.
Yeah, hey, hold on. Cool.
Yeah. Well, this week we're going to talk about girlfriend wants Chris Brown to grind on her.
Trying a ass-related maneuver.
Boyfriend caught the bouquet at the wedding and then threw it back at the bride.
Playing dead.
Okay. Girlfriend wants Chris Brown to grind on her by Affectionate Camel 810. My girlfriend, female 26, wants Chris Brown to grind on her if she's picked to go up on stage to a concert she is going to. I, male 26, have made it clear I would not want to with her if that's happened. I assume it's would not want to be with her if that happens.
Yeah.
Am I overreacting?
Look, I don't think you are, but not for the reasons that you are saying.
Yes.
I think I don't want to be with anyone who's willing to give their time and money to Chris Brown, right? Like, I don't care what Chris Brown is going to do. Well, I do care what he's going to do to my partner because he has a history
of doing terrible things to women. Yes.
Yeah. I think I think you need to have that conversation with your partner and be like, why are you going to a Chris Brown concert? It's 2025.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like my partner liking Chris Brown is a red flag.
Yeah.
My partner buying things that Chris Brown does, red flag. My partner going to their fucking concert, red flag. My partner then wanting to be touched by this man.
Yeah.
Like, we all know he's the biggest piece of shit.
I went to the Dahmer Festival and I really what are you doing? I was talking about this with, I don't remember, it might have actually been you, where I was just like, it blows my mind that Chris Brown still has a career, a platform, fans. Like,
yeah,
it's insane to me that someone could do something as heinous as what he did. And if for whatever reason you are unclear or don't know the Chris Brown thing, years ago, probably like 10 years ago at this point,
probably even longer, honestly.
He violently assaulted his then partner, I believe, Rihanna, and left her fucked up. Like the pictures are grotesque. And really didn't suffer any consequence at all. Like he was kind of a pariah for a bit, but even at the time, people defended him, and there was a large contingent of like female fans that defended him. And the fact that he was like he kind of like went in hiding for a little bit, and
kind of, but like.
Did he
as far as I'm aware, I don't think he even like apologized or anything. You know what I mean?
I believe she did at some point in time. Like I think
he apologized.
It's again, I don't know too much, and I know my pop culture loving girlfriend will correct me on all of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not speaking about it too much because I don't know the ins and outs, but I know enough because that's all you need to know is that he beat the shit out of a woman.
Right. Like,
you know what I mean? I think that should never happen. And I'm also pretty sure he was like laughing and mocking her about it at the time. Also, did he not get a tattoo of it as well right after? Like, didn't that happen?
I don't know.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to speak to things. I'm pretty sure it did happen, but I don't want to. We don't need to say things that may not be true when the truth is he beat the shit out of Rihanna and then just was like, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised, like, not even in a he hasn't been canceled way, in just a, like, where's the self-respect of your fucking fans?
I like that's the thing is like because his fan base is predominantly women. Like he's still sort of a sex icon in the genre. So
Which
it's
is
crazy
horrifying.
to me that and like it's also wild to me that like people are working with him, right? Like I
Yeah.
believe like Busta Rhymes did a song with him. Uh, the look at me like Lil Wayne, like all these people who like are I'm sure problematic in their own way.
Mm.
But like if for whatever reason, like let's pose like if it came out that you beat your partner to the extent or at all, but like especially to the
a bit would be fun. No, yeah, you're right. If it,
but like to the
I
extent
wouldn't want to
of-
work with me.
yeah, it's like I wouldn't. Not only would not be your friend, obviously,
Mhm.
I would probably burn everything we built together to the ground.
Yeah.
Out of you know what I mean. Like I would certainly fuck buddies would be gone. We have another show with another person. We would have to have a conversation about like what to do there.
Yeah,
But, like
for sure.
I wouldn't want to work with you ever again. I wouldn't want to
No.
see you ever again.
No.
And I would make sure that you never worked. I would
For
like
sure,
make it my
yeah.
personal mission to make sure that like you had no safe place to reside.
And then on top of that, it's like that would all be pretty dramatic, as opposed to just a random person being like, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't listen to this asshole."
yeah.
So anyway, it's a red flag for me. If we were to take him out of the equation and have it just be, who's fucking non-toxic?
We'll just make up an R&B
Yeah.
singer that we can
Dave
Smooth
Shelves.
Dave?
Smooth Dave Shelves. If Smooth Dave Shelves was like, "Oh yeah, you can come up on stage and like dance with me," who cares?
Yeah, it's I mean like it's like I was gonna say, but like it depends. But like if we're gonna say like Smooth Dave Shelves is completely non-problematic, and he has consent, and despite the fact that he does some grinding, there's still no touching. You know what I mean? It's like phantom grinding.
Sure, even if it's just grinding, you know what I mean? Like, that's just dancing. People do it when they're out, you know what I mean? Like, at that point, it's like, do you think that people are going to look and be like, wow, can't believe Stacy's cheating on non-Smooth Dave with Smooth Dave Shelves? No, like, they're just going to be like, oh, cool. She got on stage with this famous person. You know
It's
what I mean?
also
Unless
like
you
the
think they're going to
safest.
fuck them after.
That's the thing. It's like it's the safest person for them to do that with because they're not going to have sex with them on stage, and the likelihood of Dave calling up afterwards and be like, hey, I'm sure it does happen. Like I'm sure that there is sort of a weird vetting process that happens with some of these dudes.
I'm sure the only risk is that like once they've been in contact, he invites them backstage or some shit, and then your partner goes and has sex with them, which that's a different issue. That's not about the grinding. That's about, do you trust your partner?
Yeah.
So we're back to a very
really,
pedestrian issue.
I think at the end of the day, that's what this guy is afraid of, right? He's afraid of Chris Brown being like, oh shit, actually this random hottie is my type. And the fact that like he doesn't trust his partner enough to say no to Chris Brown, which is a crazy thing to say again in 2025, where the fact that any woman finds this man attractive is insane.
Horrifying. Yes.
And that's, again, look, I'm not saying that people can't change, and I'm not saying that
No. But the thing is, it's like there's like people do shit, you know what I mean? And a lot of that shit is forgivable, right? I don't know that this is one. And if it is, it's not something that just happens easily. And it's not something that happens soon. I don't know that we ever saw anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it would take, but I don't ever feel like he was held accountable, and it's insane to me.
You don't need. I don't think anyone in that position warrants the fame and attention and money that this dude has, and still at this point in time.
Yeah,
and that is where that is the hill I will die on. This comes from Bugged Cheche. I want to try this with my girlfriend. So basically, she has a decent round ass. I'm sorry, I'm putting a lot of stink on this.
It's not a great start.
So basically, she has a decent round ass, and I want to put my dick in between her cheeks, but I'm wondering if there's a device that can make her cheeks vibrate so my dick gets a nice little massage and explodes due to the stimulation or something. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
This guy's Inspector Gadgeting over here, flipping her over, and the diagrams are floating. Oh, man, that's great. Just put a phone on each cheek and ring them.
Yeah. Just set it to like go off
Just-
on, set a timer in 30 seconds. And
Yeah. Get a
Hold
PlayStation
on for dear
controller in
life.
each one and start fucking machine gunning.
Yeah.
Get the recruit on Call of Duty whose gun fires so much bullets and it'll vibrate the shit out of them cheeks if you hold a controller on each one. I like the fact that he thinks there's an established thing for this, and I hate the fact that I don't know if there is. I'm going to guess no.
I don't think there's a device that specifically vibrates ass cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I'm sure that there is a way to vibrate ass cheeks. But look, dude, I think what you're looking for is some sort of like ass job, in the same way that like a tit job or a hand job, right? You're looking for the booty cheeks to be stroking your dick. And I think there are ways to do that. Again, I think it really does depend on how decent this round ass is.
Well, that's the thing. Decent doesn't imply that, there's a lot to be working with.
Decent sounds like you have the sparks of ingenuity have stoked your flames, right? Like you see just enough and be like, hell yeah,
Is it possible?
If I had enough vibration, I think I could get there. But I'm going to operate under the assumption that like the decent is an undersell, and that
maybe it depends. Like they could be from England, being like, oh, it's mad decent,
Yeah.
So there are vibrating cock rings. So why don't you do that and put your dick between some cheeks?
Or have her, like, again, if she's okay with it and is down with it, which I assume she would be if you were going to be vibrating her body, you can just hold the cheeks together and she can rock back and forth, or you could rock her back and forth.
Or you could rock yourself back and forth.
Yeah, like there are ways of getting this done, I think. But I think the idea that you could get a vibration strong enough that it would stimulate you enough to come. I don't know really how sensitive you are.
Also might be really uncomfortable for them.
The amount of vibration I think that you would have to run through a thick-cheeked woman in order to translate into pleasure for you, I think
both
would
sides?
be... Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to work. However, have you ever seen those speakers where you attach them to the window and it sends vibrations through the window and then the window becomes the speaker? Get two of them. Pop, pop.
Yeah. And just find something with a dirty bass line.
Mm-hmm.
But look, man, you can do it. Get some oil, get some lube, and just have her go to fucking Rock City. It's essentially like doggy style, but instead of being inside her, you're using the cheeks,
slipping along the anal canal.
Or alternatively, like have her almost in like reverse cowgirl and like slide up like back and forth on you. You know what I mean? Like I think there are ways to achieve what you're getting. I think you are just getting a little too technical.
I don't know if vibration is the answer, and I don't know that there's some magical thing. But hey, maybe where there's nature finds a way.
Yeah. But again, if you're going to vibrate your partner, make sure they know that you're going to do it, and also check in and make sure that it isn't hurting them, because I know that like vibrations, it's the reason why I can't use like an electric toothbrush. They rattle my brain so bad. Like any sort of
got
like
a lot of room up there. What's going on?
Hey man, it's swimming. My brain's swimming up there. But I just like, I don't know, if it's so uncomfortable. It like hurts my eyes. Any sort of like sustained vibration on me. It's why like if I have my controller on my leg and it's vibrating,
and you're playing Recruit and Call of Duty,
that bothers me. Also, it's Rainbow Six, not Call of Duty.
Fuck, you're right. What am I doing?
Try not to call Rainbow Six Siege. Joke, but yes,
you could have, you should have. I don't know why. I don't even play Call of Duty. God, I'm such an idiot. Fuck.
This is what. Well, I'm burning this show to the ground.
That's fair.
This is akin.
That was it. That was the unforgivable. Okay.
Yeah.
This is by Dry Emotion 2237. My 27-year-old female boyfriend, 34-year-old male, caught the bouquet at a wedding and threw it back at the bride. Unsure to address this, I'm unsure on this one, or if to address it on deeper level with him. My boyfriend went to his close friend, the bride's wedding. I was not invited, but fair enough. Weddings are expensive. I do not know her very well. Came home yesterday and told me a funny story about how the bride wasn't going to do the throwing the bouquet tradition, but he encouraged her. But then he caught it. The bride said to him, "You're next." And he said, "Take it back," and threw it at the bride. He told me thinking I'd find it funny because everyone laughed, but it actually upset me a bit. I guess the reason I'm upset is he publicly rejected the idea of commitment and threw the bouquet back at the bride in front of a group of people. I wasn't even there to be part of the joke or laugh it off. The punchline being, get that away from me. I don't want marriage. As much as it was just a joke and no one probably paid any attention or remembers it, feels to me he downplayed our relationship in front of others, particularly when I think about the fact he would have been standing in a group of women also trying to catch it. I feel embarrassed and a little disrespected, but I also can't tell if I'm just blowing it out of proportion and need to let it go, or if I deserve apology and understanding from him. After he told me, I sort of pulled a face and went quiet. He knew it had upset me, but I was hit with a, "Don't be like this. I was looking forward to seeing you tonight," which made me feel like he thinks it's a me problem and doesn't understand why it would upset me. I don't think any girlfriend would want to watch or know that their boyfriend threw the bouquet after catching it at a wedding with a "get it away from me." Would love to hear the thoughts of others. Edit. Important details. We've been together for almost 2 years. We live together. We've discussed that marriage is our mutual long-term goal. I was not invited. Budgetary restrictions. Couldn't make the evening due to work anyway. I was not the only girlfriend who wasn't invited. Yeah.
Okay. Those are pretty important, because I was like, how long have you been dating this guy? Like, the 2 years and living together is, I think, important information to look. I understand where she's coming from. I get it. The idea of someone being like, if you were in a relationship and you guys have clearly talked about getting married, and that is the intention and the goal, I understand how the knee-jerk reaction to being told that, like, the idea of marrying you is so scary that he doesn't want to do it. I get it.
I don't get it, because in what world do you jump to that instead of like, not now? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I would go. It's like, oh yeah, they just don't want it right now, as opposed to never. Look, and not with me, and like, you know what I mean?
I'm not saying she's right.
I know, but it's so
I understand
lame
her knee jerk. It is for sure.
You know,
here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with this. Why the fuck was this dude catching the bouquet?
Yeah, he's in a group of women, shoving them, grabbing him, like, I don't want it. Like, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah.
Also, he's the one who convinced the bride to do it too.
That's all that makes me more uncomfortable and nervous and confused than the like throwing it back for a couple cheap laughs. Right? Like, because at the end of the day, I think that's what it was, right? Like, I don't think he thought about it at all. I think he just fell into like, haha, I'm dude at wedding. I'm going to be funny and be like, play the part of dude at wedding and be like, I don't want to get married, because that's the societal sort of like joke.
Even then, it was probably just a, like, your next implies like it's soon. And if you guys have only been dating 2 years, you shouldn't be getting married soon anyway. So it's like, I feel like he's reasonable in that regard. You know what I mean? It is, as you said, weird that he was like, hey, you're not doing that thing? You should do it. Also, I'm going to force myself into all these women.
I'm going to be there so I can do this. I mean, this is why it feels like it's like a pre-planned joke bit.
That's what I was going to ask. You think it was pre-planned?
100%. He had this. He saw it happen at another wedding and saw the fucking laughs that it got. And he was like, this is my chance to do it, because my girlfriend's not here. So I won't hurt her feelings in the time. I won't embarrass her in the time.
Do you think it was so pre-planned? Because this man obviously has influence. He was able to make her do the toss. Do you think he was like, you know what, maybe shouldn't bring girlfriends? It's going to be really expensive. Do you think this was like a year in the planning? So the girlfriend wouldn't be there. No, I think working on his jumps for like a year. He's working on his pushing women arms, you know?
I know. I think this is a crime of opportunity. I think he was like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah! I finally can do this cool joke. My girlfriend's not going to be at the wedding." And then he finds out. He's like, "What do you mean you're not going to do it? You got to do it." That's honestly, if you want to burn this dude, if you're upset and your feelings are hurt, just be like, "The fuck were you doing? Why were you there?"
That's the thing. Is the issue really that your boyfriend's deeply unfunny? Like,
yeah. Because that's a bigger problem, in my opinion. Was he also there, like, helping the groom take the fucking girdle off or whatever the hell, like, that one is? You know what I mean? It's like, why is he trying to catch the bouquet, which is famously, and look, maybe it's a really progressive wedding and they've done away with the gender norms, but it's just a weird thing. I think you need to be like...
It's also like, you don't catch it by accident.
That's the thing.
He would have gone for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you didn't want to catch it, you could have just sidestepped
not done it.
You could have not been there, right?
So let the people who are probably jumping up, clawing for it, get it, you know?
I 100% do believe that this was a planned bit that he really wanted to do. He thought it was fucking hilarious. Either he saw it at another wedding and it killed, or he just thinks he's
just a revolutionary in the comedic
he's
field.
Just fucking has a notebook of wedding gags and bits that
You know we have to do this at every wedding we go to now, right?
100%.
Actually, I delete this whole thing so we see more original.
Yeah.
So
And if anyone, if you're getting married and you're thinking of not doing a wedding toss, like a bouquet toss,
you gotta fucking do it.
I'm gonna
bro.
fucking come for you.
I'm gonna come for you right now.
The fury of 1,000 suns.
Do you know how much we can talk? We practice every week. Hours
We give
of talking
advice.
practice. We give advice.
I will talk
Advise
you into. I'll talk you into throwing your newborn child into the fucking crowd,
And they'll
and that'll
fucking
be
throw
like-
it back.
I'll
No
throw
thanks.
it back.
Whoa.
No thanks. Don't want that.
laughs
Have you
I'm
seen the
gonna get?
world? People will be fucking busting a gut.
They're gonna need paramedics right
I
off
hope
the
you
dance floor.
If you have money for a fucking paramedic budget, if the two of us are at your wedding,
Guts gone.
guts
Busted.
everywhere. People are going to be like, "Oh, we can't eat your delicious like 3-course meal because I
It's
don't
gonna
have
fall
a gut."
right out. Yeah, it's gonna fall
gut
right
is
out the
gone
hole
right
of
now.
my front where it busts straight out of my torso.
Yeah, I guess it's my turn.
So
if you
really
want real
quickly,
advice, yes, go.
I just want to talk about the making a face and like, oh, don't get like that. I was looking forward to seeing you. Are you always upset about something? Or does he always devalue your feelings? Because it's one of them.
always a bitch about things.
Sometimes people are, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
there is an element of jumping straight to like he publicly disavowed our entire relationship in front of everybody. He didn't. You know he didn't. You know he made a dumb fucking joke, right? But you've taken it the most personal way imaginable, despite all evidence to the contrary. All our issues are with how weird and awkward and dumb it was. That's fine. If that's your issue, that's okay. But if your issue is that he devalued your fucking relationship in front of everybody, I think you're reaching. And I think you're very insecure. And it seems like you were maybe looking for a way to be upset and a reason to be upset. Maybe because you weren't invited. Maybe because you don't like this person, etc. But like, if this is a pattern, maybe look inside and try to not be miserable and take everything the wrong way. However, if he just fucking devalues everything you say, maybe look at that a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because
I think that's
these two things are probably a bigger problem than anything else you've talked about, apart from how deeply unfunny your boyfriend is.
Yeah, I think you just need to have a conversation. Like, just straight up be like, "Hey, it kind of sucks to hear that. Like, we do both want to get married, and that's kind of the goal of the relationship. But for you to be seemingly so repulsed by the idea of marrying me that you had to, make a big joke about it at a wedding that I wasn't there, seems weird to me, right? Like, you don't have to be crazy about it, but like you can frame it in the sense that the context in which you are sort of like, I'm weird. Like, is marriage not a thing, or was this like just a really dumb joke? And if he's like, yeah, it's a dumb joke, then you have to sort of take it at face value because it's very obviously a dumb joke.
I would come at it more like jealousy. You know what I mean? Like, you're feeling this way, and I think it's very valid to talk about that. But I think there could maybe be a way of coming into it being like, look, maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe this is a little silly, but this is how it makes me feel. And trying to have a conversation rather than being like, did this mean you don't want to marry me? You know what I mean? And just being like, look, it kind of felt like this, and hopefully he will meet you halfway. But you do need to answer the previous questions of, are you always like this, or is he always like this? Because one of you has done something at some point, it seems, to have this like weird, bitter response. So maybe delve into that. Like, does he just disregard your feelings? Because in that case, fuck marrying him. You shouldn't want to do it anyway.
I think, like, yeah, or was he just like so hyped up about his cool joke when you didn't also bust a gut? Like, he had 911 like queued up on his phone, ready to go because he was expecting those guts.
He already called them. They were halfway there. He had to literally call them back and be like, I was excited to see you tonight, because he was in the paramedics van on the way there.
Yeah.
Needle and thread in hand.
This is so embarrassing, guys. You're going to have to turn that ambulance around.
Guts fucking fine, man.
Completely intact. Not a single seam busted. Fuck. You know how much it cost me? It was $40,000 to hire that ambulance.
Yeah, if you're in the States.
Okay, I teased a question at the beginning where we talked about it. It is kind of grim.
No, great.
Never mind. Both my questions are pretty grim. I'm going to do this
Love
one.
That. I got two. We can just zig on them. We can zag on them.
Yeah, let's zigzag on them.
Ooh, okay. This is the dude, my dude, 30-year-old male, 30-year-old female. She wants to move in with me, but says I can sleep with whoever else I'd like with conditions. What are your thoughts? We met a few years ago in nursing school, dated for a few months after graduated. She left her rather unsatisfying boyfriend, who she lived with, to date me. Then she broke up with me a few months later because I was getting seriously depressed. I couldn't express it in detain at the time. Detail, maybe?
Probably.
Because we work at the same hospital, I visited her on my lunch break a few days ago. She's back with her ex, once out again, and misses our sex and dating life. So after going on a date and sleeping together twice, she wants to move her stuff into my spare room and have a relationship. She says I can sleep with whoever, have relationships, be totally independent, as long as I use a condom and she has someone to care for and love. Naturally, I'm suspicious. I wouldn't mind her staying with me. She's going to need a place to stay when she tells her current partner she's leaving for the second time and the exact same reason. Also, having her in my house would benefit my life a lot. She loves to cook and clean for people. She's like a stereotypical 60s housewife, but actually enjoys the role and has a full-time, well-paying job. Main issue is I have other prospects. No one I'm sleeping with, but people I want to see where things go with. I met a wonderful woman on vacation who lives in the States who I want to take more vacations with and get to know. A woman I have strong emotional connection and friendship with, but intimacy isn't possible. And just in general, I'm feeling well again, reaching out, making friendships, meeting new people, and finding I really love it. I told her it was inappropriate to spring it on me 2 dates in and while I had a few drinks in me. So I'm giving it a few days. I'm unsure what to do. This is more of a writing thought exercise, but I would love to hear opinions. Are there any informational gaps I can fill in? Please let me know.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? There's an informational gap. Where's the information, you crazy person? This is a terrible idea. You're like, oh, she wants you. She's cool with you fucking other people and being independent, having her own relationship. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But then you're like, oh, she just wants someone to care for. Except when you got severely depressed, she fucking dipped on your ass
out
and went right back to her ex. And now that you seem to be doing better, she's going to dip on his ass right back to you. Do you not notice that this is a bad cycle?
Dane, there's nothing more caring than cheating on your partner, abandoning them, then going back with them, and then doing it again.
That's right. Like, do you
horrifically
think that
cruel.
Perhaps, maybe, she was also sleeping with her ex prior to leaving you? Since she seems to have no problem. And again, I don't want to paint people in the brush of being like, if you cheat, you cheat. You're always a cheater. But
she's
there
still
is precedent
cheating
here.
She's currently right now cheating.
She seems to always have her next move lined up. You know that because you've been the next move twice now.
Yeah.
So it seems awfully suspicious as well that she dated you, it said for 3 months or something? And like, what's the gap between the recent breakup and like, is she living with him? Like, is she just looking for a place to live?
Yeah. Dated for a few months, back with her ex. And now also like stop sleeping with people who have partners. You know what I mean? It's like, you know this and you're like, well, I slept with her twice. Like, oh, she's leaving her ex again for the same reason. Lol. Like, why do you suck?
Yeah, all of this seems bad, and all of it, I promise you, it's going to end poorly. If you let this person move into your house, there's no happy end to it. I can't imagine.
It's toxic and it's weird, and like, also, if you were to do some kind of polyamory thing, the boundaries need to be a little more firm than use a condom as long as I have someone to care and love. That's like, how do you enforce that? What does that mean?
Yeah, is it just like you just have to come home at the end of the night? Like, when are you allowed to spend the night at places? Are you like,
are you allowed to have a partner? If you do get one and you like, what if you find someone you like and you want to move on? Do they get evicted from your home? Are they paying rent? Are they on the lease?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. You have to think about like bigger issues. And the things are like, one, you don't really know this person properly. You know, what you do know sucks shit, right? On top of that, what we know sucks shit. You might know them a certain amount, but you haven't lived with them, right? You've like seen them for a bit. I wouldn't let someone I knew move in with me if they were half as shitty as this, let alone the fact that if I'm hooking up with them and they're living with me, like the responsibility and the potential for catastrophe is crazy. It's like, if you do want to keep hooking up with this person and seeing them, maybe just do that without living with them. Although, again, I think you should maybe divorce yourself from this situation, given you apparently have other prospects and this person seems to be a bit of a train wreck.
There's a lot happening here. Like, is she also allowed to see other people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, is that allowed? Like, is she still going to be seeing her ex? Is her ex, like, are you allowed to have people in your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is she going to start bringing strangers over to your place? Is she going to bring over her ex that hates you into your space? She knows your schedule as well. You guys work together. Like there's so many issues here, but I think at the end of the day is she's not looking for someone to care for, because when you needed to be cared for, she fucking bailed on you.
Yeah.
And is she going to do that every time? Because that sucks. And that's the antithesis of sort of like what is being presented here.
Also, like let's look at the upsides as they are. You kind of think that she's going to cook and clean for you. One, do it yourself, bud. And two, like, what? Like, you're that lazy that you're like, well, I can enter this really shitty situation because a stranger might cook and clean for, like,
also,
no,
you guys are fucking nurses. You're not gonna have fucking, she's not gonna want to cook and clean for you after working a fucking like 14-hour shift of getting bitten and attacked and fucking like run into the fucking ground. Yeah, like that's not gonna happen, my dude. Like, you know how hard this job is. Like, you're not gonna fucking jump through these hoops. She won't either.
Also, it's kind of toxic if you're thinking of someone who's in this bad situation and all you can think of is like, they'll cook and clean for me. Like, I don't know. It's just a bad situation. Don't do it.
Yeah. If there's any part of you that looks at this and is like, this could be good, you're an idiot. Sorry. Like you're just dumb. Like this is tough love, baby. And you're a dumbass if you think this is going to go well, because you know it's already gone poorly.
Yeah.
And
I can't tell which is going to be a worse case of her going in and abandoning you really quickly as the next person comes along, or her moving in and never leaving.
You're not able to get rid of her.
Yeah, it's one of the other. It's not going to be miraculously, third time's the charm.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Maybe it'll be the third time she won't cheat on her other ex.
Yeah.
This is by Bon the Furry. Hey, I'm Bon and I'm new to this sub. I'm a 19-year-old virgin. Yet I'm into really kinky sexual things, sissification, forced, futanari, etc. I'm also struggling to figure out what this means for my sexuality and if there's underlying problems that may be causing this, loneliness, inexperience, etc. If you think you have helpful advice or could help shed light on this, please comment below. Thank you. Title being, is it normal to be into really kinky things as a virgin?
I imagine this is actually pretty common.
Yeah.
Because all you have to go on is the external sexual pleasure that you get, porn, fetish stuff, you know what I mean, like stuff that you see, things that like ping your interest. So you don't really have any functional or practical knowledge when it comes to sex. If you I don't know how far you've gone with things. Like, I don't know if you're just a virgin because you haven't had sex and you've had oral, hand job, blah 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 blah, right? Like, I don't know, but I imagine it's very common for people who haven't had sex, especially at 19, to be into like anything that kind of crosses their plate and be like, yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds awesome. I'm into that. Like, you have the whole buffet before you and you haven't even tried any of it yet. So of course it's going to like look more appealing than it is. You know what I mean? It's like, you might then like run over to the calamari and be like, oh, squid's actually kind of gross. And then now you know you don't like that, but there's still a whole fucking, there's a salad bar and a dessert bar. Like, you don't know what you like yet. So, of course, a wider variety of things are going to look appealing to you.
Sure. But also, it's like you don't need to have experience to be turned on by something, or else no one would look at porn until after they've had sex. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just because you haven't had sex doesn't mean there aren't things you're turned on by. So,
and it doesn't mean that you also have to participate in it.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
You might like watching like extreme bondage stuff, but might not like the pain of it happening in real life, right? Like, you might like watching people get spanked, but don't want to be spanked. Those two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. But like, you don't like, it's not like an RPG where you start as level 1 virgin and you have to do missionary. Oh, now you're on level 2, so you can do doggy. Oh, now you're level 2. Like, you could be into shit before you've done anything. And as Dane said, that doesn't mean it's going to translate into the physical, but there's nothing weird about being into shit as a virgin. And I don't know where you got that idea from.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, it's the problem with the construct of virginity, right? Thinking that virginity is pure. So because you haven't had sex, you haven't been, deflowered and sullied, that you couldn't possibly like some crazy shit or some wild shit or some dirty shit, right? You can't, because you're a virgin. You haven't been ruined yet. And I think that's where it comes from, right? Like this idea that virginity equals innocence or virginity equals purity. And if you're not pure, it doesn't make any sense, because virgin equals pure. So why am I watching this, wild shit. I'm supposed to be innocent. I'm supposed to be pure. And like, I think that is so detrimental, because you're going to start, depending on how long you don't have sex, I think it's going to manifest toxically in the sense of being like, oh, I'm a degenerate. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm dirty. I'm this, I'm that, right? Like, you're going to start making judgment calls about yourself that aren't true at all. We're all allowed to, again, as long as it's consensual and
safe,
legal,
healthy,
and you know, like, as long as all the proper criteria is met, you're allowed to enjoy anything. And the sexual pleasure you receive from any fetish is fine. And again, if you end up getting into the real world, I would argue maybe don't jump right into fetish.
Yes.
Right. Like, I would take it slow and build into it.
Maybe also don't start being like, I'm super kinky. It's like,
please don't.
You can be into stuff, but like, don't act like you've done it, because one, that's going to be unhealthy, because if people think you have experience, maybe they'll assume that you know how to do things healthily when you don't, because you're brand new. And two, it's just try-hardy and awkward. But three, remember that porn is not real life. I think that's also very essential moving into an actual sexual real life relationship.
If you're into specific things that are quote unquote weird, find the community that participates in them and find out how to do them safely, or find out the red flags of things. Because I think a lot of people, especially younger people, say, oh, I'm into kink. I'm into this. I'm into that. And then they meet people who are who want to take advantage of people like that, right? Usually older men, but I'm sure it goes the other way around, of people being like, oh, I'm your dom. I'll teach you. And then we get all the questions where it's like, oh, they don't establish safe words. They don't respect consent, because, you know, I'm the baby sub. So I have to do everything they say. I haven't earned.
You're inexperienced and you're nervous. You're obviously going to just kind of roll with what you think is meant to happen, which they're telling you, right?
Yeah.
So it can lead to really bad situations. Really
look into the safety protocols of your kink. And also, on the flip side, don't force your kink onto other people, right? So if you haven't, like, if you're into peeing on people, you don't get to decide that without having a conversation, right? You don't get to squat over someone and piss on them without having that conversation first and talking about it and whatever.
Enthusiastic
just because
consent.
you're into something, just because you're into something doesn't translate into, well, it's my kink. It's for
we
me.
have to do it.
It's the same thing as, like, even just sex positions, right? Like, if you don't like doggy style, you don't have to do it. If you don't like X, Y, and Z, there's a give and take, of course, with sex, like, where, you know, you should work with your partner to try to make it as beneficially satisfactory as possible. But at the end of the day, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And that is also flipped, right? People don't have to do what you want to do just because you're into it.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for us. We love you.
That's it.
Thanks for spending a little time with us. Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Seeds, for their song, Paper Stars. If you love us, go join us on social media. Anywhere you'll find us, or go to our Patreon. Sign up. You'll get extra episodes, some deep dives, some movie reviews, our Pillow Talk series, which is like secret episodes of what you just listened to that you love.
Usually a lot more unhinged.
A lot more unhinged, yeah. Because we're usually
hot and like a couple episodes deep at that point in time. But we appreciate you hanging out with us.
We do. Ready for some bad sex writing? Although, maybe it's good sex writing. I'll let you be the judge. I don't need your energy, America said, or your wood. Canada fisted its lumber and slowly dragged it along the border. No, but you want it. Yes, America gulped. I want your wood so bad. Then drop your tariffs and take it, Canada rasped. America whimpered as the wood filled its country. Canada tugged America's hair in a fist and said, now say the magic words. You're not for sale, America whispered. And Canada thrust like it was giving America a treat. Good girl.
I mean, that's the best one you've had on this show.
It's pretty damn good. I don't know. We did once have the Cookie Monster having sex with Clay from Sons of Anarchy, and
that's true. But I'm sure that could be picked apart as problematic in some way. That was just good old fashioned patriotism. That's never wrong. My name is Dave Miller,
and I'm Niall Spain, and we've been your Canucks.
We've been your Canadians.